All right, so the next one here, the U.S. deploys assets to address threats from cartels. So the Trump administration has ordered the deployment of U.S. air and naval forces to the southern Caribbean Sea to address threats from Latin American drug cartels. This was reported by Reuters on Thursday, citing two sources briefed on the decision. The report didn't specify what kind of assets, what kind of ships they deployed, or what sort of action that the U.S. forces might take here. But this news comes about a week after the New York Times reported that President Trump secretly signed a directive to the Pentagon to begin using military force against Latin American cartels, including operations on foreign soil. So this news together is very concerning here. And the Trump administration has also listed several Latin American cartels and gangs as specially designated global terrorists. So they've taken steps toward taking military action against these cartels. And the big concern for me here, I mean, obviously, I think the whole idea is foolish, trying to turn that drug war into a hot war with drone strikes and things like that, I think is just going to be a disaster. But it looks like they're going to try to angle this and basically use this as a pretext, potentially, to go for another regime change in Venezuela, because they're claiming that Maduro is the leader of the Cartel de los Soles, the Cartel of the Sun, meaning that the Trump administration may use, again, as I said, this cartel stuff as a pretext here. Because look at what's happening. They label the cartels terrorist organizations. Trump signs an order directing military action against cartel leaders. They declare that Maduro's a cartel leader. They double the bounty on him to $50 million. And now, according to this report, they've deployed naval assets to the southern Caribbean. Well, what countries are on the southern Caribbean? One of them is Venezuela. So this is kind of going in a concerning direction here. And you do wonder, I mean, is the president just able to launch a drone strike in Caracas and try to kill Maduro? With the executive, I wouldn't, not that Congress would try to stop him or anything, but I mean, it would be completely illegal, completely against the Constitution. Again, not that that matters. Of course, we've seen that with the bombing campaign in Yemen and Iran. The Constitution didn't stop Trump there. But I mean, this, if they do something like that, we don't know that that's what they're doing. But to me, this seems to be putting the pieces together here. This is kind of what it's looking like. And the fact that you have Marco Rubio kind of leading this, he was a huge regime change fanatic back in the first Trump administration when they tried to do the regime change against Maduro. So it's concerning. Also, what's the evidence that Maduro is the head of a cartel? I mean, I haven't seen any. And the Mexican president said that she hasn't seen any. She was asked about it. She said, basically, this is the first I've heard of this, and we don't have evidence of that, and we haven't seen evidence from the U.S. So just a concerning direction that this is all moving here.